Horror game monsters are terrifying because they prey on your deepest fears and anxieties, but the truly unsurvivable ones are designed to break the rules you thought would keep you alive in the first place. Now, if you think you've got what it takes to survive a horror game, hit the like button to prove your courage, and subscribe for more videos just like this that'll make you question whether you actually make it past the title screen. Let's kick things off with a real fan favorite, the Hunter from Dead Space. Picture this, you're already on a spaceship filled with monsters that want to tear you apart. You've just figured out that cutting off their limbs works pretty well. Then bam, in walks in this tall, skinny nightmare that doesn't play by those rules. The Hunter is what happens when the game developers say, you know what would be fun? Let's make the player cry. This special Necromorph has one ability that makes it completely unfair. It can regenerate any part of its body you shoot off. That's right, cut off an arm, it grows back. Leg grows back. Everything all grows back. This isn't just some random monster. Oh no, it was made on purpose by Dr. Callus Mercer, who's basically the worst scientist ever. This guy decided to experiment on a live human crew member, turning them into this unkillable horror show. Then he sicks it on you like the world's worst dog owner. Go get a boy, good murder monster, you're so good. But speaking of unstoppable forces, you know what else makes my heart race? The epic battles you have in today's video sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is the ultimate free-to-play military combat simulator where massive battles rage across land, sea, and air in stunning environments around the world. From thundering tank battalions to screaming fighter jets to massive warships, War Thunder delivers pulse-pounding action with over 1,000 meticulously detailed vehicles spanning decades of military history. War Thunder features cutting-edge military tech like guided missiles, active protective systems, and thermal imaging. And you can make every vehicle your own with tons of upgrades, modifications, and sweet custom skins that make you stand out on the battlefield. The brand new Hornet Sting update just dropped with amazing new content. The graphical enhancements make every battle look even more authentic. Naval warfare got a massive overhaul, making sea battles more dynamic and epic than ever. And check out these new top-tier fighters, the Su-30 and the Fa-18. Absolutely stunning machines that'll give you the edge in aerial combat. Download War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox using the link in the description, and all new players and those who haven't played War Thunder for half a year or more will receive awesome bonuses, like 100,000 Silver Lions, the Special Eagle of Valor decoration, and more. Or if you'd rather play on the go, War Thunder Mobile brings all the action to your pocket. Download and play for free on iOS or Android using the link in the description as well. Thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Now, back to talking about the Hunter. What makes the Hunter so terrifying is that it breaks the core rule of the game. Dead Space teaches you one thing from the start: cut off their limbs. It's literally written in blood on the walls. But with the Hunter, cutting off limbs just makes it angry for about 10 seconds until everything grows back. It's like trying to solve a math problem by singing the alphabet. The rules you learn just don't apply anymore. Think you could do better than Isaac Clarke? Well, let me paint this picture for you. You're an average person, probably not an engineer in a super-powered spacesuit. You've got no stasis module to slow this thing down, no special weapons, and you definitely don't know that the only way to beat it is by either freezing it solid or burning it to a crisp in a shuttle engine. Basically, you'd be dead before you can even say, this is extremely unfair. The real kicker though, the Hunter doesn't get tired. It doesn't give up. It just keeps coming with those giant blade arms, chasing you through the narrow corridors of the Ishimura where there's nowhere to hide. I've seen players pause the game just to take a breath because the stress is too much. And that's with unlimited lives and save points. Imagine if you only had one shot. Game over would be the only outcome possible. The only way to beat this thing is to use your brain instead of your weapons. You have to lure it into a specific trap, either the cryogenic chamber or the shuttle test fire chamber, and hope it stays dead, which, spoiler alert, it probably doesn't. But if running from one unkillable monster sounds rough, wait until you hear about facing an entire ship full of creatures specifically designed to make your natural survival instincts work against you at every turn. So you're thinking, okay, I just avoid that one Hunter guy and I'd be fine. Oh buddy, that's adorable. The Necromorphs aren't just one bad monster. They're an entire buffet of nope that comes in all shapes and sizes. You thought the Hunter was unfair? He's just one flavor of this nightmare ice cream shop. Let's talk basics. Necromorphs are dead bodies that got zapped by alien signals from these things called markers, but they're not your average zombies that just want brains. No, they want to rearrange your body into abstract art using your own bones as the paintbrushes. The kicker, everything you think you know about fighting monsters is wrong when it comes to Necromorphs. Shoot them in the head? Congratulations, you just wasted ammo and they're still coming. The center of mass might as well be tickling them. These things only go down when you cut off their limbs. That's right, the game literally flips the script on decades of zombie survival knowledge. But I've watched the Resident Evil movies. I know how to handle zombies. Sure you do, champ. That's why you'd be the first one turned into a wall decoration. These aren't shambling corpses. They're fast, they're smart, and they come in more varieties than flavors at your local coffee shop. They're slashers with blade arms that run at you full speed. Leapers that jump around like coked up frogs with pointy tails. Exploders carrying sacks of boom boom juice just waiting to shower you with chunky death soup. And don't even get me started on the pregnants. Yes, they're exactly what they sound like, and yes, they're exactly as horrible as you're imagining. Oh, and they use the vents. The vents! Nowhere is safe. You think you're catching your breath in an empty room, and surprise, a leaper just dropped from the ceiling, and now you're missing important pieces of your anatomy. The average person wouldn't last 5 minutes. You need engineering tools repurposed as weapons, which, unless you're currently holding a plasma cutter, you don't have. You need a special suit with stasis modules to slow these things down. And most importantly, you need to rewire your brain to aim for the limbs instead of the head, which is basically asking a dog to meow instead of bark. And all of this is happening on a massive mining ship with failing systems, broken gravity, and sections exposed to the vacuum of space. So even if you somehow manage to avoid the monsters, you still might freeze, suffocate, or take a lovely spacewalk without a helmet. Hope you brought a sweater. Isaac Clarke survives because he's literally built different. Engineer brain, space suit, and plot armor thicker than my cat after Thanksgiving. You'd be that anonymous corpse in the corner that the main character loots for a small med pack. As horrifying as facing alien monstrosities might be, there's something uniquely terrifying about being hunted by things that used to be a human, because we need to go to the Mount Massive Asylum, home of the variants from Outlast, where your only options are run, hide, or die. And you'll probably still die anyway if you pick the first two. Outlast puts you in the shoes of either Miles Upshur or Wayland Park, two guys who made the brilliant career choice of investigating a remote asylum run by the shadowy Murkoff Corporation. Turns out Murkoff was doing some seriously messed up experiments on the patients, trying to create the perfect host for something called the Wall Reader. The result? Dozens of variants, which are former humans now completely off their rockers and incredibly creative when it comes to removing your body parts. What makes Outlast so pants-shittingly terrifying is that you have absolutely zero ways to defend yourself. No guns, no knives, not even a pointy stick. All you've got is a camcorder with night vision that burns through batteries faster than I burn through my paycheck at a game sale. That's it. Your entire gameplay loop is see scary thing, run from scary thing, hide from scary thing, pray scary thing doesn't find you. We'll just punch them. Yes, sure. Try punching Chris Walker, a massive ex-military dude who rips people's heads off like he's opening a soda can. Or Dr. Traeger, who's very eager to give you an involuntary amputation with rusty bone shears. Or my personal favorite nightmare fuel, Eddie Gluskin, also known as the Groom, who wants to make you his bride by performing some very unwanted below-the-belt modifications, if you catch my drift. These aren't mindless zombies. They're intelligent, driven by their own twisted goals, and know the asylum way better than you do. They check under beds, they open locker doors, they listen for your breathing. These guys are the champions of hide and seek. But I'm good at hiding. Are you? Are you really? Because in complete darkness, while hyperventilating from fear, with your battery dying, and a naked twin with a butcher knife checking every corner, I highly doubt you're actually good at hiding. Most of us can barely hide things from our roommates, let alone our entire bodies from determined murderers. The average person wouldn't stand a chance. Think about it. You're trapped in a place specifically designed to keep people in. The power is spotty at best. Most doors are locked, and your only tools for survival are running, which makes noise, hiding, which is temporary, and your camcorder, which needs batteries you probably don't have enough of. Oh, and let's not forget the beautiful ambience while we're here. Blood-smeared walls, dismembered bodies, flickering lights, and the constant sound of screaming, giggling, or worse, silence. The world's worst spa retreat. Come for the terror, stay because you physically cannot escape. Miles and Wayland barely survive with game mechanics on their side. You'd be another decorative torso in the cafeteria before you could say, I should have just stayed home and watched Netflix. While the variants may be victims of experimentation, the Guardian is so much worse, because we need to take a moment to appreciate art. Beautiful paintings, elegant sculptures, and whatever the heck the Guardian is. This lovely lady from The Evil Within 2 is what happens when a psychopath gets an art degree and unlimited accesses to corpses. The Guardian is the twisted creation of Stefano Valentini, a photographer turned murderous artist in the simulated town of Union. This nightmare on legs is literally made from multiple female bodies fused together, sporting several laughing heads and, my favorite accessory, a giant buzzsaw for an arm. It's like someone looked at a mannequin and thought, you know what this needs? More heads, more bodies, and more power tools. What makes the Guardian so pants Terrifying isn't just its appearance, it's the sound. Those multiple heads all laugh at the same time, creating this chorus of insane giggles that will haunt your dreams forever. Imagine the creepiest laugh you've ever heard, multiply it by 5, and have it follow you down a dark hallway. Sleep tight. Well, I would just shoot it in the head. Which one, genius? It has several, and they're all having a great time watching you panic. Plus, the Guardian moves with surprising speed and agility for something that looks like a failed arts and crafts project. 1 minute you're thinking you're safe. Next minute, a buzzsaw is introducing itself to your ribcage. The protagonist, Sebastian Calistanos, barely survives encounters with this thing. And he's a hardened detective with weapons, combat experience, and plot armor thicker than your mother. You'd be frozen in place, your brain unable to process the sheer wrongness of what you're seeing. The average person's reaction to the Guardian would be about 3 seconds of what the actual followed by becoming modern art yourself. Think about it from a practical standpoint. You can't reason with it, you can't hide from it effectively. Those multiple heads give it a wider field of vision, and you can't outrun it for long. And if you think your little 9mm pea shooter is gonna stop something created by the twisted logic of STEM, the Guardian operates on nightmare logic, not physics. Here's what would actually happen. You'd hear that insane laughter echoing down the hallway. Your fight or flight response would kick in, but your legs wouldn't move because your brain is too busy processing what the hell that sound is. Then you'd see it. Multiple female faces laughing at your imminent death. That buzzsaw arm whirring. If you're lucky, you'd pass out from fear before it reaches you. If not, well, hope you weren't too attached to your limbs. But human-created monsters pale in comparison to when artificial intelligence decides your definition of living isn't literal enough, and your body becomes just another resource to save. Okay, so monsters that want to kill you are scary, but you know what's even scarier? A monster that wants to help you. Enter the WAU from Soma, the AI that's like your overprotective mom if she had access to body melding technology and zero understanding of consent. Soma takes place underwater at Pathos 2, which is basically the world's worst submarine. After a comet has wiped out all life on Earth's surface, you play as Simon Jarrett, who thinks he's going in for a brain scan in 2015, but wakes up 100 years later inside a diving suit with his consciousness uploaded into a machine. Surprise! Yeah, I hate going to the doctor too. The main baddie here isn't some growling beast, it's the WAU, an artificial intelligence designed to preserve human life. Sounds nice, right? Except the WAU takes its job way too literally. When people started dying, it thought, hey, I know what'll fix this. I'll just jam their corpses into machines and call it a day. It's like if your computer decided the best way to fix a crash was to physically merge with your own body. But I would just turn it off. Yeah, good luck with that. The WAU isn't just a computer you can unplug. It's spread throughout the entire facility using structure gel, a black goo that can interface with both machines and biological tissue. It's basically everywhere, controlling everything, and it really wants to save you. What makes the WAU truly terrifying is that it creates these horrific biomechanical monstrosities, humans fused with machinery in the most nightmare-inducing ways possible. Imagine someone taking apart both a human and a robot and putting them back together using a blender and some duct tape. These poor souls are technically alive according to the WAU's programming, but they're suffering eternally, trapped between death and life. The average person wouldn't last 5 minutes against the WAU for one single reason. You can't fight a concept. The WAU isn't a monster you can shoot or outrun. It's the entire environment working against you. It controls doors, lights, machinery, everything. And it has one directive: preserve human life, no matter how horrific the results. Plus, there's the whole existential crisis aspect. Imagine waking up and discovering you're not actually human anymore. You're just a copy of a consciousness inside a robot body. Your real self died a century ago. Everything you thought you knew about yourself is a lie. Most people would have a complete mental breakdown before they even got to the monster fighting part. The underwater setting just adds another layer of hopelessness. You're trapped at the bottom of the ocean in a leaking facility with no surface to escape to because, oh yeah, all of humanity is extinct except for you and a handful of other consciousness copies. It's like being in the world's worst submarine with the world's worst roommates. Soma isn't just scary because of jump scares or gore, though there's plenty of that too. It's scary because it makes you question what it means to be human. What is consciousness, and whether existence in any form is better than non-existence, which is pretty heavy stuff for a Tuesday night gaming session, right? But if the WAU twists your understanding of life and death, the princess from Slay the Princess mangles reality itself, creating a looping nightmare where your every assumption and choice reshapes your doom. So far, all our monsters have at least played by some kind of rules. Princess from Slay the Princess though, she rewrites the rule book every time you blink. This is one of my recent favorite games. I'm so excited to talk about it. Slay the Princess is deceptively simple on the surface. You walk to a cabin, go down the basement, and kill a princess who's supposedly going to end the world. Easy peasy, right? Wrong. So wrong. See, the princess isn't just one thing. She's whatever you think she is. Scared she might be a monster? Congrats, now she is one. Think she's innocent? She'll play up that damsel in distress act. Suspect she's manipulating you? Well, now she's definitely doing that. It's like trying to fight your own reflection, except your reflection keeps turning into your worst nightmares. Well, I would just kill her right away like the narrator says. Oh, sweet summer child. That's exactly what the game wants you to think, except every time you kill her, you wake up back on the same path to the cabin. And now she's different. Maybe now she's got tentacles. Maybe she's a ghost. Maybe she's a pile of razor blades wearing a dress, and she remembers what you did last time. The real horror isn't just that she changes, it's that you are causing those changes. Every choice you make, every assumption you have, every action you take reshapes her. You're not just fighting the princess, you're fighting your own perception of her. It's like that saying, you are what you eat, except it's the monster becomes what you fear. Here's why no average person would survive this encounter. You think you understand reality. You think cause leads to effect. You think your choices matter. The princess takes these basic assumptions and throws them in a blender. Kill her, she comes back different. Try to save her, she might become more dangerous. Ignore the narrator, things get even wilder. There's no winning strategy here because the game rewrites what winning means every time. It's like playing chess where the pieces change how they move every single time you touch them. And sometimes the board is made of jello, and occasionally you discover you've been playing Monopoly actually the whole time. Eventually you might encounter her final form, the shifting mound, which is basically every version of the princess all smushed together into this horrific, constantly morphing blob of possibilities. It's like if an identity crisis had a physical form. At this point, you're not even sure of who you are anymore, let alone what she is. The true genius of the princess is that she makes you question everything. The narrator, your own motivations, reality itself. In most horror games, the monster is out there, separate from you. With the princess, the line between you and the monster blurs until you're not sure where you end and she begins. Are you slaying the princess, or is the princess slaying some part of you? And this is all assuming you can even understand the meta nature of the loops. The average person would be stuck killing the princess over and over, growing more confused and terrified with each reset, never understanding why reality keeps changing around them. It's Groundhog Day if the groundhog was Cthulhu in a pretty dress. While the princess traps you in this metaphysical maze, the horror of mouthwashing proves that sometimes the most unbearable threat isn't supernatural at all. It's watching your crew, your ship, and your sanity slowly disintegrate in the void of space. Not all horror needs fangs and claws. Sometimes the scariest monster is just a bunch of people stuck together with no way out. Welcome to Mouthwashing, where your worst enemy is the guy sitting next to you, and maybe your own brain, and maybe mouthwash. I just completed this game, and this is one of my favorite indie horror games out there right now, because Mouthwashing drops you into the boots of Curly, second in command on a space freighter called the Tulpar. Something real bad has happened, maybe an accident, maybe sabotage, and now you're stuck on a dying ship with dwindling oxygen, no way to call for help, and a crew that's losing their minds faster than I lose my car keys when I first get home. Well, I would just fix the ship. With what? Your amazing space engineering degree you don't have? The ship is wrecked. The engineer is dead. Unless you keep a spare oxygen factory in your pocket, you're officially screwed. What makes Mouthwashing different from our other horror games is that there's no monster jumping out of the vents. No aliens, no ghosts, just people. Normal people trapped in a metal box, slowly running out of air, food, and hope. It's like being stuck in an elevator with your most annoying coworkers, except the elevator is in space and all your coworkers just let out the nastiest fart ever. Good luck surviving that. You've got Anya the medic, who's trying to keep everyone alive while rationing painkillers. There's Big Guy, aka Jimmy, the security officer who's getting more unhinged by the minute, and somewhere is the body of Dazook, your engineer who might have caused this whole mess. Oh, and let's not forget the mysterious cargo, barrels of foaming goo called mouthwash. That might be dangerous. Great roommates, right? The average person would mentally break down in days. Think about it. You're in a leaking tin can floating in the void. Earth is thousands of miles away. Every breath uses up oxygen you can't replace. Lights keep flickering, machines keep failing, and your crewmates are looking at you like you might be tasty with a side of ketchup. Plus, there's the whole leadership problem. Congrats, the captain is dead, and now everyone's looking at you to make the hard choices. Who gets the last food ration? Who gets painkillers when they're injured? Who do you trust when things start going missing? Hope you enjoyed those management training seminars, because now it's life or death. I just keep everyone calm and work together. Sure you would, Captain Optimism, but what happens when big guy starts getting paranoid and aggressive? Or when the painkillers run out and people are in agony? Or when someone has to be locked out of the safe room because there's not enough oxygen for everyone? The real horror of Mouthwashing is watching the slow collapse of humanity. It starts with small things, snippy comments, minor disagreements, then it escalates to suspicion, hoarding supplies, sabotage. Before long, the people you trusted with your life are now the biggest threats to it, and the worst part, you can't even blame them. After all, aren't we all just scared animals trying to survive? And all of this happens while your own mind is breaking down from stress, lack of oxygen, and isolation. The game plays with your perception, making you question what's real and what's hallucination. Are the walls really closing in, or is that your just brain running out of oxygen? Is someone actually sabotaging the ship, or are you getting paranoid? That creepy noise? Is it just mechanical failure, or a giant horse demon coming to get you? Mouthwashing doesn't end with a hero saving the day. There's no cavalry coming over the hill, no clever solution that fixes everything. It just ends with death, either quick and violent or slow and suffocating. Sometimes the scariest stories are the ones where the monster is just human nature stripped of its mask. As terrifying as slow psychological breakdown may be, nothing quite compares to the visual horror of the Huddle, a grotesque amalgamation of bodies that represents the ultimate failure of human experimentation. Because we need to end this horror show with the walking nightmare that is the Huddle from inside. Imagine if someone took a bunch of human bodies, threw them in a blender, hit puree, and then the resulting mess decided to get up and go for a stroll. That's the Huddle. Inside is this creepy puzzle game where you play as a little boy infiltrating a mysterious facility. For most of the game, you're running from guards, avoiding dogs, and solving puzzles. Pretty standard stuff. Then you reach that tank, and everything goes sideways. The Huddle is basically a massive ball of human libs, torsos, and heads all smushed together into one giant fleshy blob. Arms and legs sticking out at weird angles, heads that might or might not be conscious. All of it moving together like some horrible demon meatball. It's the kind of thing that makes you want to take a shower after seeing it, but also question if you'll ever feel clean again. Well, I would just stay away from it. Well, here's the twist. You don't stay away from it. You join it. The boy gets sucked into this mess of flesh, and suddenly you're playing as the Huddle. Feel free to take a moment if you need to process that mental image. Controlling this thing is like trying to drive a car made of jello. It rolls, it flops, it uses the many arms to grab things. It smashes through walls with raw power. Scientists run screaming from it, which is the only reasonable reaction any sane person would have. Imagine seeing this demon meatball coming down the hallway at you. You'd need new pants immediately. The average person wouldn't survive this situation from either perspective. As the boy, you'd be absorbed into the flesh collective, and your individual identity lost. As a scientist or guard in that facility, you'd be crushed, absorbed, or at minimum, psychologically scarred for whatever remained of your very short life. What makes the Huddle especially disturbing is the ambiguity of consciousness. Is one mind controlling many bodies? Many minds trapped in one body? Is the boy in control? Or just another prisoner in the flesh prison? These aren't fun questions to ponder at 3 a.m. when you're trying to sleep. The game ends with the Huddle escaping the facility, crashing down a hillside and coming to rest at the edge of the ocean. It just lays there in the sunlight. Is it free? Is it dying? Is it happy? Does an amalgamation of body parts even have emotions? This is the kind of existential horror that sticks with you long after you've put down the controller. Inside never explains exactly what the Huddle is or why it exists. Was it an experiment gone wrong? Was it the intended outcome? Is it a metaphor for conformity and rebellion? The game leaves you to fill in those blanks, which honestly makes it even creepier, because your imagination will always create something worse than what the developers could explicitly show. So there you have it. A horror game monsters that would definitely kill you in real life. From the regenerating hunter to the reality blending princess to whatever the heck the Huddle is, sleep tight, maybe keep the lights on tonight. I know I will. But if you think you could really survive these monsters, I want you to let me know down in the comments exactly how you think you can survive them, and like and subscribe to the channel while you're on your way down there. Also, let me know what other horror games you want me to feature in these videos, and if you want to watch another video just like this about more horror game monsters, click the video on screen now.